All right, finally doing a video on this 56 Chevrolet truck. Mr. PIB has been on me and on me to do a video on this truck. I've been busy, guys, like super busy. I don't know where this year's went. It seems like I have had something to do every single day, whether I'm working at my normal 9-to-5 job, working overtime or whatever. Matter of fact, I'm off today. I'm getting phone calls today with some issues that I have to try to get worked out tomorrow. So my particular job, it never quits, whether I'm here at home or I'm actually at work. So it's just a constant round-the-clock thing, which is okay. I knew that was part of it when I took on that responsibility. But anyway, I've been working on this truck. I've piddled around on Mr. PIB's, or Mr. and Mrs. PIB's 66. Got a bunch of parts for it. Got a whole lot to do to that truck. Basically, you know, we're building it from the ground up. The only thing that we ain't took off the frame is the bed. So got a lot of work to do to it, but I was trying to get this truck done before rod run. So I have this coming weekend to get some stuff done, and then that's it. The next weekend is rod run, September 11th, I believe. Hope to see some of y'all up there. I don't know if this truck's going to make it. Whether it be because I can't get it done or I just decide not to take it. I don't know. I feel like I could drive the truck up there. I've drove it quite a bit today. Drove it to Decatur and back down to a fire department, which is the opposite direction of my house. And Mr. and Mrs. PIB, they followed me and done a little video. And I've done a few little short trips. So I went back to Decatur, ran to the grocery store and grabbed a few things, came back home, and then ran back out to the Dollar General. I'm sure y'all have plenty of those where you're from. Seems like there's one every 200 or 300 yards here where I'm from. A lot of Dollar Generals. But anyway, been making several little short trips in this truck. So that's one thing about buying a new build. You don't really know what you're getting. And it's not really any fault to anyone. You build one to the extent that this truck has been. You're going to run into little issues once you start driving it. So this one had a little spot in the steering that was grabbing. No big deal. It was a set screw on one of the universal joints for the steering. It was hitting the header. Took me all of 5 minutes to fix it. But again, until you get one of these things out, you start stretching its legs, putting a few miles on it. They're going to have little issues kind of presenting themselves. I think I need some tie rod ends. When you run the truck up to, about as I hate to say it, 80 to 100, it wants to kind of start swaying just a little bit in the front end. And it could all just be an alignment. I know the truck needs lined up, the rear end. Obviously, this one has the kind of NASCAR style swing arms in the back. So it has an adjustable panhard bar. So I know that rear end needs to be adjusted because I have raised and lowered this truck several times. I'm satisfied the front end needs lined up. Tim Dixon done a lot of work on this front end. I have also done some work on it. I do need to get a new pitman arm and new tie rod ends, and that will make everything brand new. I don't know if Tim put the tie rods and stuff on it that are on the truck. They don't look old. I think they'd be fine. I don't see any slop in them, but I may go ahead and put new ones on it anyway. Relatively inexpensive. So anyway, if some of y'all haven't seen this truck, this is like I said earlier, a 56 Chevrolet truck. It's got supposed to be a really low mile 4.8 LS motor and a 4L60E. The transmission shifts perfect. I've had a lot of these 4L60s and stuff. This one shifts really good. And the 4.8 runs great, holds really good oil pressure. I did change the oil pan and stuff on it. It had the truck pan on it, so I put a shorter oil pan on it because I did lower the front end down just a little bit. It's a little bit lower now than it was when I got it, but it still has stock springs on it. But when I changed the disc brake setup up front, it set the truck down for whatever reason. But anyway, but I mean, other than that, it holds great oil pressure. It still has the GM serpentine belt on it, which makes me believe it's pretty low miles. And I don't know when Tim started working on this truck, but the last tag receipt I found that was in the glove box when I got it was 2012. So if they done an LS swap in 2012, that was prior to a lot of people doing these LS swaps. So it wasn't very common when they done this particular LS swap. So this truck has a GM harness, GM everything. So it's just like jumping in a newer model Tahoe or Chevrolet truck, whatever. Everything's GM, but really good running driving truck, 4-wheel disc brakes. I'm gonna show you this red pinstripe. So I put that red pinstripe. These are Coy C33 billet aluminum 20s. So kind of like an old steel wheel. Of course, they're staggered. They're wider in the back than they are in the front. I built this bed floor. Pretty sure I showed y'all this. I don't know. I've slept since the last video, and I don't even remember when that was. If you'll notice, inside the bed sides, I haven't Penetroled yet. So this truck has Penetrol on it. I'll run you through that here in a few minutes. Still got to get in here and clean all this up good. That frame's been painted with chassis saver, but you see, looks like a little bit of rust there. That's just dust from grinding and cutting and welding. You can see there's some kind of piece of metal just kind of laying there. I don't know how that's made it all day, but been a lot of work done on this old truck over the last, I'm guessing, 13 years. You know, if that's when Tim and them started working on it, 2012. And I think that's probably right, just going off the tag receipt. Of course, they may have started before then. Maybe they registered the truck when they got it and started after. I really don't know. I don't know that I've ever even asked him that question. But anyway, it's got a Nova rear end in it. And you can see my swing arm. That's aftermarket swing arms that Tim put in it. Tim done a really good job on this framework, which is really the foundation for one of these old trucks. I don't know if any of y'all have had one of these old trucks that was original, but you have to drive it. And by that, I mean, you have to be paying attention to what the hell you're doing. I had Charlie, which was Mr. PIB's old white 57. One of our good friends now, Daryl Dyer, has it. A lot of fun to drive, but it's 3-speed on the column, 6-cylinder, all original, straight axle front end. And let me tell you, these cell phones wouldn't have worked out very well back then, because every little bump you hit in the road, those straight axle front ends and stuff, they like to follow every little groove in the road, and it don't take long and you're in a ditch. So you can't really take your eyes off the road, and you need both hands on the steering wheel, I guess is what I'm trying to get to. But you see my wiper valance is not on here. So I've got the original wiper bezels, but they're really dingy and dirty and ugly. So I went ahead and ordered some new ones, and they're relatively inexpensive. So I think it was like $60 for the bezels and the little gaskets that go in here. That transmission has a little chip back there, but I think it'll work out just fine. We'll try it. If it don't work, I'll buy new ones. So the Penetrol, I've had people tell me that I've had better results than they have with this Penetrol. And if this is Flood Penetrol, it's in a metal can. You've got to get the oil-based Penetrol. I think it's silicone-based or something. I can't remember right now. It's in a plastic bottle. Stay away from it. Get the Penetrol that's in a metal can. This stuff is great for old signs, old wheelbarrow, any kind of old metal, plastic. It don't matter. I've got a Coca-Cola sign in my garage that's an old plastic Coca-Cola button, and I've got Penetrol on it, and it works great, guys. This is really similar to Poppy's Patina, the Shine Juice, Vice Grip Garage stuff. I guarantee it's the same stuff. I've never, got down with the chemistry and really looked at the differences in it, but I've seen Poppy's Patina. I've seen all these other products on vehicles. I like the Penetrol better. It's about $15 or $16 a quart. Back when I first started fooling this stuff, it was about $10 a quart. And you can do this truck probably twice with a quart of it. So the good thing about Penetrol is if you miss a spot or two, it's no big deal. You come out the next day and go over the whole truck again, or just dab a little bit on those spots that you missed and move on. The Poppy's Patina and those other systems that I've seen, they're about $200, guys, $180 to $200. You have to mix it with hardener and different things. I don't know. I've never used it. I've just seen friends that have used it, and I don't really see any better results than I have with this Penetrol. And this stuff is a little glossy. Some people stay away from it because of the high gloss, but I promise you, you wash this thing a few times with Dawn dishwashing liquid, and that gloss will dull down. But if you keep this truck in a garage and you keep it clean and spray a little spray wax on it every once in a while, this will last for a very long time. It will not peel. I've never had this stuff peel off. Matter of fact, I've got some on that 60 model down there, and I promise you, if I clean that truck up, it's still going to shine. And it's been sitting there for a long time. Oops, sorry, my camera got foggy there. That truck's been sitting there for a long time out in the elements. But anyway, with this Penetrol, I usually come out here with a little paint roller. I've used a foam roller. I've used kind of a cotton type end on it. Whatever, it doesn't matter. So I'll usually use a roller and a brush. So I'll take the roller and I'll go one direction, whether it's this way or that way, it don't matter. Do the whole truck like that. I'll take my brush and I'll get around these emblems. You don't have to tape anything up. I mean, if you get a little bit on the emblem, it isn't really going to hurt anything. Even on these seals and stuff, it doesn't hurt anything. As a matter of fact, if you have some old dried out seals, you can actually put Penetrol on them and it'll make them shine and it'll stick. This stuff's great. I love it. But anyways, once I go one direction, by the time I get around the whole truck and it sort of starts tacking up, you'll have a few runs. Now this stuff's self-leveling, but once you gob it on there, it will run a little bit. So I'll go one direction, and whichever direction I went, I'll go the opposite direction and go around the truck again. And once it starts tacking up just a little bit, you kind of got to get a feel for it, but it's super simple. It's a really good product. It's cheap. If you've got an old cheap beater, you don't want to spend $200 on Poppy's Patina, run to your hardware store, get you some Penetrol. It's awesome, guys. I don't think you'll be upset with it. Anyway, so there's the Penetrol. You'll notice I got the windshield in it. So I had some issues getting someone to put glass in this truck. Called All-Star Glass in Chattanooga. They've always been real great. I told them it was on a 56 truck. They were supposed to call me back. They never did. So I guess they weren't interested in doing it. Had another guy. He was going to do it for $400, the front and rear glass. And I was all about it, but he got busy and had a bunch of things come up. I couldn't have someone here. Well, I could have, but I didn't want to bother anybody. So Mr. and Mrs. PIB offered to show up and sit with the guy. But anyway, I ordered the rope to put around the seal. I actually ordered this seal from Summit, and I liked it better than the Precision seal. The Precision seal had a big old flap you had to get in here first. This seal's from Summit. It's like $50. The glass came with a kit, so I got the side windows, the vent windows, which I still have to put in it. But I done this myself. Me and my dad put this in. Not very hard to do, really. Take your time. If it gets in a bind, just work with it. I ordered some little round edge kind of picks. You can see there, I've still got some windshield glue on my fingers. This stuff's hard to get off. And now there's no glue on the front, just on the back. But anyway, I had Dad out here kind of slapping around on this glass and shoving in on it. But now anytime you work with this glass, use your whole hand. I learned that. Don't just take your palm and shove it on one spot, because you will break it. But again, relatively simple, not hard. The rear glass was really easy, but it made a mess. That old glue, so you have to glue these in, and you have to use a non-hardening glue for the seal on the inside, and then put the a glass in and then glue it. You got to run your glue around the seal and then put your lock strip in. So I had to order a lock strip tool for the lock strip, and I promise you that's a good investment. Relatively inexpensive, $20 on Amazon, I think. But don't be afraid to do this glass, guys. Just take your time, have some help. And if you get the glass in a bind, back up and do it again. Set it to the side, come back another day. Don't get crazy. Now this back here, once you put that glue in, you gotta keep working. But this one here, not that big a deal. I also order you some glass handlers, something to stick to that glass to kind of help you maneuver it, if you will. But and this good old soapy water. So Dawn dishwashing liquid and water. And that will make it slick enough that you can work with that seal. I've been told to use Vaseline, but then I seen that you wasn't actually supposed to use Vaseline because it would kind of degrade the rubber. if it was made of a certain type of rubber. Anyway, I won't get into the chemistry on that. So you see I don't have my door panels on. Again, I got to get the side glass in, the vent windows. I did get my 59 Impala steering wheel put on here today, and I cleaned that steering column up. That steering column's been through a lot in its lifetime. It will be just fine. I'm not a fan of the chrome, but whatever. I got my seat put in here. Kind of been waiting to do that. Get them old rags out of there. I got to clean the seat up. Got to vacuum the carpet out. You can see it's already dirty. I've got some aluminum that I got to cut. That's going to be fun to kind of go around the edge of that step. Got a lot to do, guys. These old door seals, you can see my doors kicked out here. It's not lined up good. Those doors were lined up great prior to me putting those door seals on. So I'm going to give those a few days to kind of mold into that door, the door kind of mashing them down. We'll see. I know that my dad has had some trouble with those on Camaros and stuff over the years, but I still got a lot of little piddly things to do to the truck, but I can at least get in it now, drive it to town if I need to, pick up some odd and end things, and you know, just kind of enjoy the truck. And that's where I've been trying to get. It's been sitting out here for so long, and you know, I had different plans for it. I was going to make a super slick truck out of it, but it is what it is. It's just an old shop truck, so I can at least get out and enjoy it now. Also, it does have electric wipers on it. That's another thing that Tim and Angie done to the truck prior to me getting it, so that's a big plus for me. If you're looking at this, I know I didn't do a video on it, so if you're looking at this patina that I put on it, this was the first time for me. I wish I would have used a darker brown. That's the only thing that I'm kind of mad at myself over, and what makes it even worse is there is darker brown under that brown. So I sanded the whole truck down, and I put a big coating of brown all over this truck. So there's brown everywhere. But I took oatmeal and coffee, and I put oatmeal and coffee, just made a paste out of it with water, and I went around the truck where you see the patina, and I put it on the truck. Now, next time I believe I'll leave the coffee out of the equation, because the little grains of coffee got in the paint, and it was a pain to get that out. I mean, you can see all these little specks. That was coffee, and I had to take a box blade and scratch all that out. I was out here for hours trying to get that coffee out of this paint. I mean, what a mess. But anyway, I think the oatmeal would work a whole lot better. Just maybe oatmeal and water. I'll try that again, maybe on just an old fender or something, just to kind of see how it turns out. There's several videos on that on YouTube, guys. So if you're interested in trying that, just type in, I don't know, oatmeal patina or something. I don't know, but I've seen several videos of people doing this, and that's what led me to try it. But I really like it. Again, I think just the oatmeal would work better, and it's just kind of hard to get it to stick. But I think the coffee is what was keeping it from sticking really well. The oatmeal, when you get it wet, it's kind of tacky. So I believe that'd be the way to go. But anyway, I don't know what all I'm leaving out. I've done a whole lot of work to this thing in a little bit of time. If those door seals don't work themselves out, I'm hoping, you know, just kind of leaving the door shut for a week or so, they'll kind of soften up or kind of get contoured to the body. If they don't, I may trim them down a little bit. I don't want to do that, but I may have to get the doors to close right. I don't want the doors looking goofy. All right, I'm going to shut up, and if you have any questions or anything, let me know. I know I covered a lot and talked about a lot there, but again, just trying to play catch up. Guys, as always, I appreciate you watching. I'll catch you on the next one. See you later.